Welcome back, guys, to LPB Racing. This is our second preview race. As you can see now, it is rather dry. Lovely conditions for racing as we get ready to go lights out, and away we go. Good start by Bidzster and Callum. Blaney with a decent start as well. Azadar in a cracking start in the Porsche in the middle, in the red Porsche, as we go down towards the first corner. Bidzster through first, Callum through second as the camera tries to catch up everyone else. Contact in the background. Oh, we've got a few cars off. That's Stevie and I think that's Jamo in the background off as well. So Jamo, unfortunately, to get caught up in more accidents as we all come rushing down towards the chicane. Everyone really close together. Bidzster and Callum up front, everyone else trying to be third as we come down towards the chicane. Brake, and Callum's off and a few other cars as well. It's all causing to mayhem. Remember, this is the first race out in the dry for these lot, so everyone's really struggling with the cars. We see Neil Farmack struggling to rejoin in the background. There he is in the BMW, so unlucky for Neil there. As we look back at the leaders, Bidzster in front, TY and Azadar and Blaney. It's a pack of all of them trying to get through that chicane. Azadar, and Footman crash as well. Oh no, it's all happening behind here, as I think Callum was involved in that and possibly a few others. We'll get some replays on that first lap mayhem. Here's a replay on board with the start from Footman's point of view to see what happened. So we're going down towards the first corner. We get a little bit bogged down. We get a decent enough start after that though. So you see Stevie there over the inside of Jamo. Contact's made, and then as they go out of the corner, Jamo comes back on, and then Stevie, bang, was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Here's a replay of what happened at the first chicane. So we're looking at Blaney here coming down towards the first chicane. So you'll see Neil comes across a little bit, but he's ahead. Blaney brakes and just outbrakes himself, hits the back of Neil. Neil spins round, Blaney goes over the chicane, and then everyone else sort of folds through. So that was definitely Blaney's fault for tapping Neil. Here's a replay of what happened between Footman, Azadar and a few others. So you see Azadar side by side with TY. He lets TY go, runs a bit wide. Keith's like, whoa, what's happening here? And Footman just too fast through the chicane, just taking his normal speed and just could not react in time. And then contact was made and he's spun. But as we're still going through the first lap, TY up the inside of Blaney in the Datsun. Gets ahead of him. Beautiful sounding car, that Datsun. Absolutely beautiful. As we look at when the camera catches up, Project Cars 2 replays showing how good they actually are not. Azadar Blade is in the Porsche, so everyone else stringing out a little bit now after those first few, after that first lap incidents. We go into the stadium section. Azadar Blade runs very wide. Keith might be close enough there. Keith's in a Porsche this time. Everyone experiments with the different cars as Azadar goes off and Keith follows. So clearly the Porsche, not the best handling car in the world at all, by far. There's Seek One's off in the background again as well. So Seek One, really struggling with that car to get the power down. So unlucky there for Seek. Neil's closing up now in the other BMW. But as we go across the line, Bidzster's already in the lead. TY second in the Datsun, and then we've got third Blaney in the Skyline behind. There he is going through the first corner and out of it. There he is. There's Blaney. Callum in the background as well. I think we've had TY off the road in the first corner. TY's gone off. Blaney goes through. So TY getting the power down in that Datsun now, trying to catch up. We go down towards the chicane, hitting the brakes. Well, again, I don't think. The Datsun not having very good brakes at all. TY sliding sideways. Callum catching up to him. Keith a bit wide at that corner as well. As the cameras catch up, I do apologise for the cameras, ladies and gentlemen, but Gran Turismo Sport is a lot better on cameras than Project Cars 2 is. But we'll get there in the end. I'll work with what I've got, and I'll see how well I can do. All these race highlights brought, well, not highlights as such, but these races brought live to you after they're done, re-recorded. But I am commentating on them live, so I'm trying to keep up with all the action. No editing involved. This is just complete raw footage of the race with commentary by myself as TY looks at the inside of Blaney into the chicane. It's possibly going to be a good move here as he goes at the inside. And just gets the car stopped. Blaney gives him a helping hand saying, go on, if you're going to pass me, get on with it. But He gets it done, and of course Callum, Callum on the dust there as he gets the power on. Phenomenal stuff in that Porsche. Everyone really struggling to get the power down, even in the dry. So hats off to those that did it in the wet. As we go down towards the stadium section now, Blakeney still following TY. That Datsun does not look like it's handling very well at all. Squirt, and it's not. TY goes off the road. That's not like TY at all. Trying to get the camera to focus on him. There we go. There's TY recovering. So again, these cars proving hard to handle. As there's Seek 1 with Neil Farmer behind him. The battle of the Beamers into the stadium section. The hairpin. Lots of camper to this corner. You can carry some good speed round. Neil had to back out of that. He had a little sneaker look at the inside, but had to back out of that. As Neil goes on the grass there, that's going to lose him time. He's lost loads of time there. So Neil loses time. As onto the back straight we go. Blakeney in the skyline about to be mobbed by Callum, who's in third place now. He's past TY. Look at the power of that Porsche, but he's got to get it to stop. Let's see if he can get it to stop. He's on a look at the inside. Blakeney says, no you don't, sunshine. I'm staying that way. Blakeney on the brakes late. TY even late on the brakes, trying to go around the outside of the Porsche. Trying to keep around the outside line and get the inside for the next corner. Callum's still there, trying to put the power on side by side through that chicane in these cars. Phenomenal stuff, but then Callum gets the power down in that Porsche and keeps the position. But that Datsun's not giving up. It's only about 50 or 60 horsepower down that Datsun on the Porsche, but it's still trying to have a go. Blakeney into the chicane, Callum behind TY then. Callum, a lot of curb there, but gets away with it. As we go out of this corner now, this is where the Porsche will come into hand. He's just going to leave Blakeney standing here if he's not careful. And almost contact on the straight as we go through. Callum through into second place. TY trying to follow with the extra power of that Datsun compared to the skyline. And Blakeney gets mobbed off 2 places in 1 straight. But this is where Blakeney could make up the time, is in these corners here. He might be able to get the power on a bit better than these two, but nope. TY and Callum are off in the Porsche and the Datsun respectively. But then again, they're trying to catch this man, Bidzster, who's in front in a commanding lead in the Capri again. So looks like Bidzster could be a strong contender in this first round of the championship. Remember, this is only a preview race of what you can expect in the championship. So keep an eye out for that, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Tuesday at 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time for GT Sport, and Thursday, which is this game that we're on now, Thursday for Project Cars 2 at the same time, 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time. So stay tuned for that. All races will have live broadcast like this afterwards. We will have live commentary for the races afterwards. They'll be up a few days after, maybe at the weekend when I have got spare time to do it. Callum and TY very close at the first corner still, but again that power of the Porsche will get him, will still pull away. TY is still in some sort of a draft, but he'll not be close enough to actually catch that Porsche properly. As you can see it just pulling away slightly as we go down towards the chicane now. Onto the brakes, cars pitch down forward as we try, and both cars run wide, both completely miss the braking point. Blakeney will be rubbing his hands here if he can keep it neat himself. As we go out that corner, you can see he's visibly closer, but again, once that Datsun and that Porsche get that power on, there's no catching him. As we go down towards that second little bit of a chicane now, we'll have a little look back at Keith. He's got, that's a fence. There's Keith in the Porsche, he's got RZR behind him as well, so they're a bit more spread out further back. We've got Seek 1 here with Neil Farmack behind him. Still 2 BMWs battling, so Neil's caught up to Seat 1 now. Probably going to try and go around the outside of him as we go side by side down towards the next chicane. Still side by side, more or less. Who's going to give up? I think Seat could probably have the better line for this one. Yep, Neil folds in behind, Seat goes in front. Who's that off? That's Stevie off. So Stevie goes off and they make up 2 places there. So Stevie made an error at the chicane. Unlucky there for Stevie as Bidzster comes into the last complex, but we'll try and have a look at this battle back here if we can once the camera resets itself. What's happening? There we are. Oh, TY's gone backwards. TY's gone completely backwards. Where's TY's round here somewhere when the camera catches up? There he is. TY's made some kind of an error there. We'll get a replay on that. As we look at Bidzster come out of the last corner to take his second win in LPB racing. This is the preview race. Well done to Bidzster, victory for him, commanding victory. Callum is going to come through in second place in the Porsche, so well done to Callum on his second place. Blakeney is probably going to be third. Keith's behind him in fourth, so Keith, a good drive there to keep it consistent in that Porsche. Finally got used to the handling of it. As we go out this last corner, Blakeney gets the power on. The Porsche is going to be close now. Oh, Blakeney was weaving on. That just shows you, Blakeney, do not celebrate too early. Keith, fourth place. Azadar, fifth. TY, sixth. Neil, going to be in seventh place, ahead of Seek 1 in eighth. Stevie is going to be ninth after a few spins. And Footman and Jamo are our retirements. But there's your, well, round here somewhere. We'll just rewind the camera a bit so you can see. There we go. There's our winner, Bidzster, in the Ford Capri. So we'll see you guys for the actual championship. So take care.